All right, do we have any Swifties in the house today?
All right. I love it.
Well, then maybe your house was like my house this weekend because the Taylor Swift documentary came out, the docuseries. And in this docuseries, it's called Taylor Swift, The End of an Era, Taylor is shown to surprise her crew with handwritten thank you notes and huge bonuses. Bonuses, I know. And we're not talking like $200. In total, she gave away $197 million US in bonuses.
Good.
So here's the question. We know about it because she chose to put it in her docuseries. The question is that tacky to shoot this and put it in your own series, or is this admirable?
Well, I think it's really, really admirable. But why am I cringing at it? Do you know why? I think because it's like holding up a mirror. Because this is something I would do. I am a Taylor Swift. If I did something that incredible, if I had the means to do something that incredible, I really think, and I was filming a documentary, I'd really want that to be in the documentary instead of it being this truly altruistic act of giving the money away without anyone ever having to know about it. So I'm more of a Taylor Swift than, say, a Keanu Reeves, who, like, I think after it was the 4th John Wick, he gave his entire stunt team Rolex watches engraved. Wow. And no one knew about it, but the stunt men and women filmed it. So it got out there.
Right.
You know, it got out there in sort of this natural, organic way instead of, like, I don't know, I just feel cringy about it.
Oh my God, I get why you feel cringy about it, but I don't think that this was meant for her to be like, look how amazing I am. I think this was her flexing for other billionaires. How many times do we look at people and say, you know, you've become a billionaire on the backs of your workers, the people who made you a billionaire, why don't you give them a little thanks? And so I think it is really her saying to other billionaires, treat the people who helped get you to where you got well, and that everybody should be treated this way.
Let's do that.
I mean, it is a good point. I mean, I'm sort of on the fence around this because she does do other philanthropic work that I don't think we're necessarily aware of. So I don't think this is a one-off case. And I think back to that music video that Drake did where he was giving away money to everyone. We loved watching that music video.
Did we?
I did. I thought it was really nice. I mean, let's also just balance out the fact that things like this, gestures like this, are tax write-offs for these billionaires. Like, I'm not trying to be cynical, but I wonder if there is something to this idea of treating your staff really well, because everyone knows what a big fan I am of Prince. Prince was known for being very charitable, and he didn't want this information out there until it came out after his death. He was very, very private about it. He did everything from donate to the family of Trayvon Martin to, like, you know, a dance studio in New York City, like all over the place.
And all quietly?
All quietly. And that's wonderful and it's amazing. But there's also rumblings with some of his musicians that he didn't necessarily always pay them that well. I also think about one of his ex-wives who I follow on Instagram, and she wrote a book, but she also continues to teach belly dancing lessons. So that to me says that
she got no money out of the divorce.
I don't think she got a ton of money out of the divorce. So I guess it's just like, it's interesting to think, like, what do we value from these people? And maybe for him, it was like, you know, he made choices in his life about where he was going to put his money to. But
so she was better off opening a dance studio in New York, is what you're saying?
Maybe, I don't know.
This is very interesting. I think it's wonderful, and I think it's a great example to her very young fans that, you know, when you do something great, you don't ever do it by yourself. There's always a team of people. And saying thank you is important, but also if you have something to give those people to make their lives easier, you give it to them. And for her to give that kind of money to me, when she was on her tour, I didn't hear about one hiccup. Not one dancer doing anything wrong, nothing falling, no scaffolding falling down, not one light falling. That means that her team, for every single concert, did their job to the best of their ability, and that's why it was such a wonderful and successful tour. So to give, it's the same way that in a company, if you do well at the end of the year, you get a bonus. So it's no different than a corporation doing that. And also I'm thinking the backdrop of The Reckoning, you know that documentary on Netflix about Sean Diddy Combs, you know, with all the nonsense? One thing that stuck out is that everybody talked about the fact that he was notorious for not paying people.
Yes.
And that he said, somebody said that he liked people to be hungry. That's why he didn't like to pay them.
But the public aspect doesn't bother you? Like, I think everything you just said, yes, they should be paid. Yes, it's like, she's almost like a CEO of this corporation and she's giving bonuses. But the public, of it being the documentary?
I think the difference is the day and age that we come from and the day and age of these young people. They share every single aspect of their lives, and we don't. We come from a time when Prince, you don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
These kids don't hide anything. We know everything from what color socks she likes, what the names of her pets. We know everything. So why wouldn't she share this with her fans? Because it's a positive.
It is a positive, and I just want to put this in context. She made over $2 billion on this tour. What she gave away was less than 10% of what she made on this tour. So it's a great way to balance the headline. She is now a billionaire, and she still was able to give away almost $200 million US. I don't think there's a bad headline to be had.
That's true. That's true.